The mist curled around Eleanora's ankles as she stepped out onto the cobblestone street, its cool fingers reaching up like a lover's touch. Luminara was awakening, shrouded in its customary veil of mystery. The sea murmured in the distance, a constant companion to the town's whispered secrets. Eleanora paused, her breath mingling with the fog, and listened to the quiet symphony of the morning. Another day, another story, she murmured to herself, though the words felt hollow. Her voice was barely audible above the soft rustle of the mist. Eleanora made her way to the echoing tome, her steps echoing softly in the empty street. The bookshop loomed ahead, its windows dark and inviting. Inside, Silas Thorncroft would be waiting, his presence as enigmatic as the town itself. The thought brought a faint smile to her lips. As she pushed open the door, a bell chimed softly, announcing her arrival. The scent of old books enveloped her, a comforting blend of dust and ink that spoke of forgotten tales and hidden knowledge. Silas was there, as always, perched behind the counter with an expression that suggested he knew every secret Luminara held. "Eleonora," he greeted, his voice smooth like silk worn thin with age. "What brings you to my corner of the world today?" "The usual," she replied, stepping further into the shop's dim interior. "Stories to weave, mysteries to unravel." His eyes twinkled with an amused light. "Ah, but which is it today? Reality or fantasy?" She shrugged, letting her fingers trail along the spines of books stacked haphazardly on a nearby table. "In Luminara, does it matter?" Silas chuckled softly, a sound like the rustle of pages turning. "Perhaps not." Their conversation flowed easily, like a well-worn riverbed guiding water. Eleanora felt the familiar comfort of their exchanges, where words danced with an unspoken understanding. "Have you heard about the newcomer?" Silas asked suddenly, his tone shifting ever so slightly. She paused, curiosity piqued. "Newcomer?" "A man arrived last night," he continued, his gaze steady on hers. "Adrian is his name. He has an unusual air about him." Eleanora felt a flicker of intrigue. In a town like Luminara, unusual carried weight beyond mere oddity. "Unusual how?" Silas leaned forward, lowering his voice conspiratorially. "He seems to know things about this place that no outsider should." Eleanora absorbed this information in silence, her mind already weaving possibilities. "And you think he might be?" "Something more than he appears," Silas finished for her, nodding slowly. The air in the shop seemed to thicken with potential. Eleanora could almost feel the threads of fate shifting around her, tangling and untangling with each breath. "I suppose I'll have to meet him," she said at last, her decision made. "Indeed," Silas agreed, "though I suspect he may find you first." She laughed softly, the sound mingling with the shop's shadows. "Let him try." With that, Eleanora took her leave, the bells chime following her into the mist-laden street once more. The day stretched ahead, full of promise and peril in equal measure. Later, as she wandered through Luminara's winding alleys, she found herself contemplating Silas's words. The town had always been a magnet for those who existed on the fringes of reality, those who saw beyond the veil of ordinary life. Her musings were interrupted by a figure emerging from the mist, a man whose silhouette was both familiar and foreign. He moved with a fluid grace that seemed at odds with the cobblestones beneath his feet. "Eleonora?" His voice was smooth, carrying an accent she couldn't quite place. She stopped, her heart skipping an unexpected beat. "You must be Adrian." He smiled, a slow, deliberate gesture that hinted at secrets untold. "I am." Their eyes met, and in that moment, Eleonora felt an inexplicable connection, a pull toward something greater than herself. The world around them seemed to hold its breath. "I've heard about you," she said finally, breaking the silence between them. "And I about you," Adrian replied, his gaze unwavering. They stood there for a moment longer, two souls bound by unseen threads in a town where magic was as real as the mist that embraced them. "Shall we walk?" he suggested, extending a hand toward the path ahead. Eleonora hesitated only briefly before nodding. Together, they moved through Luminara's spectral streets, their footsteps weaving a new story into the fabric of the town. As they walked, Adrian spoke in riddles and half-truths, his words a dance of implication and innuendo that challenged Eleonora's skepticism at every turn. Yet beneath it all lay a vulnerability she recognized all too well. "You seem to know much about Luminara," she remarked as they paused by a statue of a forgotten deity. Adrian nodded thoughtfully. The town speaks to those willing to listen. And you listen? More than most. Their conversation continued to unfurl like a tapestry under skilled hands, each thread revealing glimpses of their inner worlds. The mist swirled around them as if eavesdropping on their words. When they finally parted ways at dusk's arrival, Eleonora felt a curious mix of anticipation and uncertainty, a sense that her life had shifted on its axis without her consent. Back at home, she sat by her window overlooking the sea, a vast expanse now darkened by evening shadows, and pondered what lay ahead. Adrian was a puzzle she could not resist solving, a mystery wrapped in enigma, cloaked in charm. And so began another chapter in Luminara's storied existence, one where love and danger walked hand in hand through streets steeped in magic and mystery alike. Eleonora knew that whatever happened next would alter not just her own destiny, but perhaps that of Luminara itself, a place where every whispered conversation carried the weight of destiny waiting patiently within its misty embrace.